Hey everybody, we're going to be checking out my Season 3 draft for my team, the Cleveland Heavy Slammers. Stay tuned. And welcome everybody, it is your self-proclaimed mediocre Pokemon master here, Tiggly Man. Today we're going to be reviewing my Season 3 draft in my EDL draft league that I am in. I am, as I said, the Cleveland Heavy Slammers, and you'll see I drafted a mon that really fits that title. But I believe this is one of the best drafts I've ever done. There are some hiccups possibly. I think I could have really utilized a fairy type to fulfill my Steel Dragon Fairy Core, but we have a decent Fire Water Grass Core here. But anyway, I wanted to draft some aggressive mons because before I was trying to fool around and play with tech. But you know what? I'm not an experienced enough draft player. Let's kind of scrap the tech. You know, we'll work that into our games and stuff. But I really wanted some solid mons this time around to play with to really get a true feeling on what a good draft essentially feels like. So here to start things off, we have Tyranitar. Tyranitar is an insane mon. He can do a lot of things. Let's take a look here. Let's just start with the stats. That's what we'll do for every mon. We'll start with the stats. We'll talk about like move, pull, and ability and what they can accomplish. So here we have 100 HP, 134 attack, 110 defense, 95 special attack, 100 speed F, 61 speed. Now, if his speed was a bit higher, this damn thing would be almost like an Uber. Very high base stats, fantastic mon. And Tyranitar is great because his abilities here. We have Sandstream and Unnerve. Unnerve, I typically won't touch, but Sandstream is fantastic to help break focus sashes, and it also gives him a SPDEF boost, which is huge. It makes his SPDEF just naturally one stage higher. So you want to talk about base stats, that's 150 base SPDEF. Kind of narrowing in on the 700 base stats mark with that boost if you decide to run that ability. Very bulky mon. And coincidentally too, he learns a pretty wide variety of move pulls. We have a lot of physical attacks and a lot of special attacks. So yes, he can be a dual attacker. He's of course more efficient as an attacker because the high attack at like 134, but a special attack is 95. It's respectable, and you can run tech. You can run him as a special attacker and have him be annoying. You have like Ancient Power, not the best move, but you know, it does serve a purpose. But water coverage, ice coverage, Blizzard, more ice coverage, body press, his attack's too high to like want to run that. But if you want to run a bulky T-Tar, you can utilize it. Brick Break, Crunch, you know, Dragon Dance too. If you really wanted to give like a big FU to your opponent, Dragon Dance up with that T-Tar. If someone ran too bulky of a team and they can't outspeed him at +1, the Dragon Dance T-Tar can clean the table if they don't have anything that resists his stab attacks. And want to talk about items that he holds. You can run Tyranitar with an Assault Vest to utilize his bulk and have him consistently switching in on special attacks over and over and over again, because even he can take focus blasts from certain mons. I believe when I played Gen 7, one of the very few mons he couldn't take a focus blast from. We're not even going to talk about Lucario. Of course he can't take a focus blast from Lucario, but Mega Alakazam, I do believe, I'm trying to remember the calc, but I think if you ran max HP, max SPDEF with a plus SPDEF nature, you could eat a focus blast from Mega Alakazam, and that's huge. That's a quad hit from one of the most gnarly special attackers in the game. So you can just run an overall bulky set. You can run him banded and have people get punished on the switch in. Expert Belt just for versatility, and yeah, yada yada yada. You can run with leftovers. Let's get to the moves. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here. He also big here. I've been playing a lot of VGC and Battle Stadium singles, so I always forget about this at this point. Stealth Rock. Tyranitar can set up Stealth Rocks, which on this team is great because I also have other mons that could set up Stealth Rocks. So the prediction base on who's he going to set rocks with, that does exist. You know, so I could put Stealth Rocks on T-Tar and lead with him, throw it. Or they could think I have Stealth Rocks on T-Tar, lead with him, run a Choice Band, and smash something. But yeah, enough said, pretty self-explanatory. Fantastic mon. He can fulfill several roles as a physical attacker, special wall. He can be a pivot, a stealth rock setter. He could be anything you want him to be, and he fulfills them well. That's the main thing. It's just not some cheese shit. He fulfills it very well. On to the next mon. Now with T-Tar's crippling fighting type weakness, what a better boy than to draft Buzzwall. In season 1, I drafted Buzzwall, and he was a pretty hard carry for my team along with Rotom Heat. Buzzwall is a fantastic mon. The only thing that holds him back is his Spadef, but as long as you're intelligent enough, you know, to swap out in the special attacks, he will cruise. Now we have 107 base HP, very high, 139 attack, 139 defense. Now look at that, 107 HP, 139 defense. There ain't much busting through this boy physically. Like, he is extraordinarily bulky. But we have that lackluster Spadef, and the speed's a bit lackluster. 79 speed is not good. It's above it. I would say it's probably average if we want to, because look at that color there. It's like a dark yellow. So yeah, it might be a little bit below average. But let's get into the move pull. Buzzwall with being the fighting bug type, we can definitely get a big boost on fighting type stab, like superpower. That's a 120 base power move. After stab, it's 180, which will decimate anything, even on a neutral hit with that base 139 attack. We have earthquake to cover like fire types and stuff of that sort. Let's see here, bulk up too. Like, you can run the substitute bulk up roost set, because yes, Buzzwall does learn roost, I believe. Let me double check that. Yes, he does. There's the roost. So this mon, with him being an ultra beast, he gets beast boost, and whatever stat is the highest he gets a boost on. You can set it up so he's a defensive wall. You know, every time you pick up a KO, his defense goes up. I don't think that would be ideal, but you could choose to do that. His attack is going to be the primary thing, so you can run him Scarfed, which I really enjoy, because if you chip the team down with hazards, you slap a Scarf on Buzzwall, he outspeeds, and every time he picks up a KO, his attack goes up. It's kind of like you know, a Moxie Gyarados, I guess, you know. And you can run him Banded too, to further exfoliate the attack stat and make him an incredible wall breaker and punishing. Because if you have like your, you know, your Buzzwall switch and he turns out to be Banded, he 2-hit KOs you, well, now he's going to run wild because he's at +2 now with the band and the 1 beast boost. But let's get back to the coverage. We have Focus Punch too. You opt to run Substitute. Insane. That's 225 base power after stab. Crazy hit. It's like a damn Z move. If you can pull it off, though. The only thing is, though, we're not using him power. He doesn't learn fire typing coverage, which is like big. It's a big deal. So whenever I go up against Celesteela, it terrifies me, because Celesteela kind of walls him pretty good at this point. I mean, if I ran him Banded with, even with like Ice Punch, or let's see here, Rock Slide, those are Stone Edge, those are neutral hits, but Celesteela can eat those up all day and then Leech Seed him, you know, Air Slash him and get rid of him. But Buzzwall, fantastic mon, great synergy with T-Tar, pretty self-explanatory mon. You know, you can run him Banded, Scarfed, you can run him with Leftovers with Roost. So we have a fast sweeper, a wall breaker, and then we have a setup sweeper. 3 potential things. You know, they're all in one narrow cavity of being a sweeper, and, you know, a bulky pivot too, but he fulfills them really, really well. You know, there's only 2 things. Is he going to roost, or is he just going to attack? You know, that's Buzzwall, and he does it well. Enough said. Let's go on to the Cleveland Heavy Slammers. When I made this name, this is the mon that I had on my mind when I made this. Mega Agron. I love Agron. He's, well, Mega Agron in particular. I like just that he has base steel typing, and his stats are pretty badass. Now, base 70 HP, like whatever, 140 attack, that is a good attack stat. 140 is really solid. You don't need to invest in that to hit hard. I mean, of course, if you, in this, you know, national Dexy type meta, you're going to want to invest in that attack, because there's a lot of things that can switch in on him and wall him. But, you know, we'll talk about that. 230 defense. 230 defense. Have you ever seen, like, you know, like an Excadrill use an Earthquake, and it's super effective? You know, it only does 50%. Depending how you run him, could even do less. Depending how the Excadrill ran, it can do more. But I've had it where I got 1 curse off with Mega Agron. I was versus someone in the ladder. They had Excadrill, and they it was on them. I was in the 1500s, but they ran Drill Run over Earthquake. I think it was to land crits, I believe, because Drill Run, I think, has a higher crit ratio. And it only did 30% at +1 defense, which I thought was really funny. I don't know how he ran his Excadrill, but I thought that was badass as shit. Anyways, we have 60 special attack. No one's going to run Agron as a special attacker. 80 Spadef and 50 speed. The 80 Spadef, now, that sounds bad. It's not. It's not awful. It's not ideal, but it's not awful. With how bulky he is and his ability Filter, which I believe he takes, it's similar to Solid Rock, like Rhyperior, right? Filter, just telling me illegal. Just tells me illegal. Okay. Well, I think I'm in the wrong tier. I believe Filter, any super effective hits are 25% less damage to him. So every super effective hit isn't 2 times, it's 1.7 times, which is amazing. And that 80 Spadef, you know, That's not too lackluster when considering everything isn't double power anymore. So he can take some special hits depending who they're from. And that filter ability paired with that defense, one of the best physical walls in the game, depending what your opponent has. You know, if they don't have ground, fighting, or fire, he's going to work it. He's going to work it. Let's get into the moves. Now, Mega Agron, I believe, is a Stellar Stealth Rock setter. You know, because you can just run, what is it, Stealth Rock 3 attacks. Because his coverage, he learns a lot of shit. So we got Stealth Rock, Stone Edge, Superpower. If you want to be fancy, you could Taunt. Let's get I think he learns all the punches too. Power Up Punch, so he's you know, he can set himself up as necessary. I wouldn't recommend it because I believe a slow roll with Mega Agron can put you in a pickle very fast if your opponent has a counter for him readily available. Iron Head, we're not going to run that though. We'll get to that. Ice Punch, Hone Claws, screw that. Heavy Slam, big boy. I wish he was heavier. I really do, because Capparaja is kind of a better heavy slammer than him, because I think Agron weighs like 1,200 or 1,600 pounds, and Capparaja with heavy metal weighs 2,200, and his heavy slam is nearly max power and everything. Agron also is nearly max power on everything, but you know, there's some things that make that debatable. Anyways, Head Smash, that does some recoil, but again, a great rock type move if you're looking to rid of some bulky bullshit that the Head Smash will take care of. He gets Fire Punch. Yeah, I think he does get all the punches. I was right. And Curse. Okay. So for moves, you would probably run Stealth Rock, you know, 3 attack, whatever. Or the fancy set that I just found on Shmogun for Gen 7. I ran it with success. I ran this in OU, but you have to know when to use it and when to unveil it. It's the Curse. Let's just put this in just so you can see it because it's cheesy. Curse, Rest, Sleep Talk, and Heavy Slam. And this set, I saved it as the last mon. I played it so I was able to weasel out my opponent's counters for him because I was so set on putting in work with him. And as soon as I got rid of their fire and fighting type, I just threw out Agron was my last mon. I just threw out Agron and started cursing up. The thing, when I mentioned Excedril, they did have their Excedril, but he wasn't out in front of me. He was my last mon, so it was kind of forced to come out. And I cursed up once, Drill came out, hit me, I rested up, and I kept clicking Sleep Talk, and at +2 curse, ain't nothing. +2 attack, that heavy slam, even if it's not very effective, but that's 120 power. There's not too many things surviving that with that 140 base attack stat. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Mad love for Mega Agron. He's an awkward setup sweeper. He could just be a, you know, Stealth Rock setter and put in some work with attacks. The only thing that holds him back is his lack of recovery. That's the main thing. That's huge. That's a big deal. Like, that severely holds him back. His only means of recovering is rest, and that's just straight cheese. If your opponent knows what's going on, they will save their counter for him and discord him. But still have mad love for the big boy. And we're going to see how we can play him this season. Next up, Landorus Therian. Now, funny enough, there were 16 people in our draft, and I was the second last one to go. I don't know how he didn't go first round. It's kind of stereotypical, so I think it's funny. Like, you know, oh, draft. I'm going to draft Landorus Therian. No, maybe not, because everyone's thinking that. You know, you want to draft a unique mon. Landorus is not unique at all. I think most drafts he will go round 1, just because it's Landorus Therian. He's probably the best. Debatable. A debatable statement. But Landorus Therian's running National Dex OU, and he ran Gen 7 OU. You had to make counters for Landorus because he can, you know, snowball very quickly, and he's just very powerful. So stats. 89 HP, not bad. 145 attack. That is crazy. Paired with ground flying coverage, there's not even many resists for that. But 90 defense, paired with Intimidate, that defense is good. That is really good because it's going to take their attack down a stage, so his defense is indefinitely higher, which is awesome. Special attack 105, which is funny because he does learn Calm Mind, and you can run special attacking tech with him. Not common, not ideal, but it can happen. 105 special attack is very respectable. 80 speed def, again, not bad, and then 91 speed. But what are you going to do? Like, it's 91 speed, you know, he outspeeds bulky mons, he gets outsped by sweepers. It's just how it be. Let's get into move pulls. Now, for Landorus, more than likely, he's going to set rocks. You can run him differently. You can, with insane success, because this guy can do whatever the hell he wants. But Stealth Rock is relatively ideal. And one thing that I always like to do, I like to run Stealth Rock, and because he is my Z captain, that's how this draft league works. I can run one Z move on him indefinitely. Even in Gen 7, I just felt like Flyinium Z on Landorus, as soon as you get rid of their steel type, that Flyinium Z is neutral across the board, and when you outspeed, someone has to get leveled. And that's just how it is. It's just unfortunate his main flying move is Fly. So the only true usage you'll get out of it would be the Z move, because if you start clicking Fly, if they're running Protect, you're gonna open yourself up for a lot of problems with your opponent being able to set up and stuff. But like Stealth Rock, Fly, and then you can do Earthquake, and then even Defog. And that's why I like to run. I like to run them as a pivot. Defog my rocks if they got them up my side, and get mine up on their side, and then dual attack. And then a lot of the times too, you might even opt not to do that, and you just put Explosion on them. And then once you killed their Stealth Rock setter, your rocks are up. You don't have to defog anymore, so just blow up, right? Those are two different ideas for a Stealth Rocking set. And then you could run Double Dance, which would be Swords Dance, Rock Polish, and then you can do Earthquake and Fly, per se. And now if they don't run Protect or anything like that, this will clean sweep. You get one Swords Dance, one Rock Polish off, you run a Z move, nothing stopping him. I've been crushed by this set. I'm sure most people have been crushed by this set. They saw it in the ladder and they weren't ready for it. Again, fantastic physical attacker. Now, if you want to talk draft league tech, there's the Calm Mind. You know what? He learns Earth Power. What else does he learn? He learns Sludge Bomb. He learns what are special attacks? Focus Blast, Grass Knot. Just reiterate my point. His coverage is completely versatile. Great Mon. Stealth Rock Setter, Physical Sweeper, Setup Sweeper, Special Attacker, Special Attacking Sweeper. I put those two last because they're not ideal on him, but it can be a thing. On to the next Mon. Flygon. I always feel like Flygon didn't get enough love. Now, I was looking for a good dragon type, and because my speed tier in this whole draft has been kind of lackluster, I picked Flygon. And I know you're probably asking, Tiggly Man, why would you draft two Mons that are quad weak to ice? I didn't want to, but just Flygon typing aside, stat wise, I needed this speed. I wanted the dragon typing coverage, and he fulfilled it. I don't like having two Mons quad weak to ice. I don't. It's ass. But they're both Mons that are great to themselves, and this is fun too because, well, to be inherently honest, I've never used Flygon. This is going to be a whole new experience to me. He has average stats, but the main thing we're looking at here is the 100 attack and the 100 speed. Nothing crazy. They're respectable. And if you run him with a Scarf, he'll outspeed, anyone not scarfed. And his 100 attack, if you want to run him with a Choice Band, he is going to make people quiver in their shorts because he'll be able to hit pretty hard. It's not going to be, like Okos all day, but it will pressure switch-ins very hard. Now let's go to his move pool. This will kind of be a learning experience for me. We're not even going to talk about special attacks. I'm not going to use him as a special attacker. You could. Of course you could. But we're not going to. So let's see here. Let's check out this coverage. We have dark typing coverage. Of course, normal. Doesn't need to be said out loud. Dragon. Ground. We got Fire, First Impression. That is so cool. I actually did not know he learned that. That makes me really happy that became like a TM in Sword and Shield. I know it's not Stab, so it ain't going to be anything like Durant's First Impression or Golisopod's First Impression, but still, this is a fantastic priority move to kill a setup sweeper that's Focus Sash, that's brought down to 1 HP that you can't outspeed. Well, now I can, smash him, even if he's running a priority move. First Impression's a fantastic move. So that's really cool. It makes me happy. Iron Tail, Outrage, Power Up Punch, very cool. Yeah, this is gonna be a great Mon. I can't think of any other uses other than him just being, just a raw physical sweeper, just a physical attacker. Does he learn DD? He does not learn DD. Okay, that's a bit of a bummer. But we work with what we got. We do have Power Up Punch. I don't even see Swords Dance. Does he learn that? No, he doesn't. Not the best Mon I've ever seen, but we will make him work. With the 100 base attack, we'll make that dragon typing work. On to the next Mon. Gyarados. Let's check his stats out. Intimidate. Okay. I don't want to get too crazy. 95 HP, right? 125 attack. Good. Not cream de la creme, but that's good shit. 79 defense. With Intimidate, that's pretty alright. pretty all right. Big sips to that. Special attack 60, who cares? And SPDF 100. That is a fantastic SPDF stat, especially with the water flying typing being a fantastic typing. I don't care what anyone says, water flying's great. With your only weaknesses being rock and your big weakness being electric. You know, but if you play him right and you can predict who's gonna be running the electric move to discord him, you can make, you know, you can make him clean a table. Let's get into his moves real quick. Gyarados can do a handful of things. You know, you would never curse. I actually know you learned curse, but that's funny. But let's go over what I like to run on Gyarados. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Dragon Dance. DD Gyarados is the Gyarados. Even Mega Gyarados. DD Mega Gyarados was the Gyarados. You get a substitute up, you Dragon Dance once, twice, it's usually over. Depending on what your opponent has, usually it's over. But yeah, the Dragon Dance emits a lot of pressure paired with that 125 attack stat. And also, if you think about it, Intimidate, or you can run Moxie. So every time he picks up a KO, this is a snowball sweeper. This is a self-sustaining setup sweeper. And that's what makes him so devastating. Because if he's brought out at the right time, he can end a match even if the opponent is ready for it. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to make him bulkier, you pair him with that Intimidate. That guarantees, like, if you're up against a physical attack without an electric move, that'll guarantee you get 1 DD off, you know? And just both abilities are fantastic. And then more than likely, you'd want to run Waterfall, you know? Bounce, just for that stab attack. Bounce is not ideal in Draft League unless I needed the coverage. I would run Bounce, but other than that, I would try to avoid it and do some other thing like, you know, Power Whip. Or what do we got here? You could run Crunch. Unfortunately, like with him not having his Mega anymore, he doesn't get the stab on that. But you can run Dragon Tail, you know, if they're going to try to swap on your Gyarados and be, you know, scared, you can hit them and just pull them into something else and then either decide to attack them, see if they swap again. You know, you can play some games. Dragon Tail's a great move. Earthquake again for coverage. And yeah, he learns Roar too, substitute. With his bulk, you have to keep this in mind because he does learn substitute, toxic, which I think everyone does, but substitute, toxic, Dragon Tail, just those shits. You can even run him bulky and just toxic stall people. I've been toxic stalled by Gyarados. It's nasty because with the Intimidate, you know, if you don't have a rock or electric hit and you're a physical attacker and you don't have any means of setting up, that Intimidate's devastating. And if you run like one Waterfall on him, you know, you get substitute up, they swap in, like, oh, whatever, toxic them, you break the sub, then they Waterfall. That toxic damage paired with that Waterfall chip, whether it's resisted or not, your Mon's gonna be dead the next turn, usually, you know? So we can have him be a setup sweeper, just a physical attacker, you know? We just run with 4 attacks, choice band. We can run with a Life Orb to take it even further, you know? Or he could stall. If that's how we want to run him, he's a good staller. That's not grade A, but it's, you know, with how much offensive pressure he emits, that stall can just throw someone off enough to make them choke like crazy, like it was done to me. All right, let's go into our next. These are gonna be the lower tier mons that I drafted, but again, still good boys. Here we have Rotom Mo. I needed a grass type. I need a good grass type. I don't use Rotom Mo too often, but I respect Rotom. Rotom is just a fantastic mon, and that's just how it be. I don't make those rules. He just is. Low HP. Decent defense, decent SPDF. Well, not decent. Fantastic defense and SPDF. And a pretty good special attack stat. Speed tier, again, My whole team is kind of on the speed. My Flygon's my fastest. That's why I needed him. Let's get into the coverage here, because this fulfilled my fire, water, grass core, which is great. And Rotom Mo, like just Rotom period, is great because, well, we have our Stab Leaf Storm, which is just overall a great move for getting rid of troublesome whatever is, you know, whatever grass is super effective against, anything that's troublesome. If it's super effective against them, Leaf Storm will usually knock them out, because that's just how it is. It's a 130 base power move, very strong. Rotom can learn Defog, right? What else? We have Defog, Pain Split, and you know what? The big thing, Nasty Plot. So I wouldn't run this set you see here, but let's just go over what we see. So we have Leaf Storm. Rotom gets decent coverage. Well, not like super crazy, but we got Electric, Grass, Dark, Ghost. What else do we have too? Let's see. He learned Sucker Punch? I didn't know that. Okay, so actually I take that back. His coverage isn't too crazy, but the moves he does learn are strong, right? So, good special attacker. Next up, Defogger. He can switch in and defog. Paired with those decent defenses, he can swap in regularly and defog it up. You pair that defog with Pain Split, now you have sustain. You can cripple the opposing side and get rid of the rocks. Premier defogger. And that's why Rotom is so good. Because he can either be a high pressure special attacker, or he can be bulky, never die, and get rid of rocks and be annoying the whole match if you play him right. And then Setup Sweeper. Nasty Plot. Rotom learns Nasty Plot. So now when you see Rotom, you don't get to play around, you know, and like hunt. Like, oh, is he going to attack? Is he going to defog? Because now if he Nasty Plots, well, you just put yourself in a pickle. You know? So I think that's a really cool thing that he learned, and it really opens up the gates of hell for him. Rotom's much more handsome. And ability Levitate, you know. And with items, you grow him Assault Vested, Choice Scarfed with leftovers, you know. So let's just recap real quick. Good special attacker, good special attacking setup sweeper, and a fantastic defogger. Fantastic. And he also learns Will-O-Wisp and Thunderwave too. So if you want to use him to cripple the opposing side and open up gateways for your other mons, he can do that too. Fantastic mon. I'm glad I got him on my draft. Let's go up next. Colossal. Colossal. I love Colossal. I'm one of his biggest fans. I'm a big fan of Gen 8. I think there's a lot of well-designed Pokemon in it, and Colossal is one of them. Unfortunately, with the Rock-Fire typing that he shares with Macargo, I think that's how you say it, Rock-Fire isn't too hot. I'll just be honest, it really isn't, but we'll get to that. Let's check the stats here. Good bulk. Really good bulk. We have 110 HP, 80 attack, very mediocre attack, 120 defense. That's solid. That's solid-ass defense. 80 special attack, again, mediocre. And then 90 speed F with 30 speed, but that's exploitable. So, extremely bulky. And, you know, he's a dual attacker. He can run either or. Unfortunately, he runs either kind of piss poor, I guess. But let's get into his moves. So, of course, we got two things here. Two big things. Stealth Rock Setter, of course. Everyone knew that. And we have Rapid Spin to get rid of hazards on our side and allow us to keep them set up on the opponent's side. Two really self-explanatory moves. They're great. And as long as he's not in front of something that can hit him super effectively, Colossal will not die. He's so bulky. You have to hit him super effectively if you want to get rid of him very fast. Let's get into other things. We have Ancient Power, so if you want to pray to the gods of RNG to get an Omni boost on him, you can do that. I've done that with him before because, you know, why doesn't Colossal learn Calm Mind? Why doesn't Colossal learn Bulk Up? I don't know. I don't know why Colossal can't set up, and it makes me so damn sad. It really does. But besides that, we have Ancient Power. If you want to run him as a special attacker, you know, or like just like bulky dual attacker, you got Body Press, which is just great overall. Because if you want him to be a Stealth Rocker and a Rapid Spinner, more than likely you're going to be running like max HP, max defense, you know, and Body Press will hit like a bus with, what is it, 120 base defense? Yeah, 80 power fighting type move with 120 base attack. Sign me up. That's pretty good. Earth Power, a great special attacking move, because funny enough, I think Earth Power, I've always felt like, now take this with a grain of salt. I always feel like Earth Power is kind of an overpowered move. Now hear me out. I think it's because Earth Power is super effective. The things it's super effective against typically are more physically bulky than they're especially bulky. So Earth Power always seems to go the extra stretch on a super effective hit. At least that's what I've noticed with my experience. But let's go on. He learns Explosion too, which not just any mon learns Explosion. So like, you know, you get your rocks up, you Rapid Spin the rocks away, and you're like, screw it, I don't need them anymore. Blow his ass up and do huge damage. Being how it be. Fire Blast is great, you know, great fire typing coverage. Gyro Ball, and yeah, Overheat is a great move. He also learns Burn Up, which is neat enough. I don't think it's ideal. It's down here in the useless moves, I think. Yeah, there it is. Gets rid of his fire typing. So if you just wanted a true rock type, you know, if you're in a position where having a true rock type is more ideal, you could run Burn Up, get that big 130 power hit off. Then you're just rock type. You don't have to worry about quad hits anymore. But this is National Dex, so it doesn't matter if it's a quad. If it's super effective, depending on what they're running, it's more likely going to OHKO you. That's just how it is. And he also learns Scald, which I think is really cool. And he learns Spikes too. Sorry, I'm getting so ahead of myself. He also learns Spikes. So let's look this over. The benefits of Colossal and why we drafted him. He's a dual attacker. He's not a fantastic dual attacker, but there's unpredictability in his step. Are you going to run him as a physical or special attacker? Those are kind of good bits of knowledge, because if you throw out your, you know, someone with higher physical defense in front of him and he's a special attacker, he's going to hit him pretty good. But if you're right, then if he's a physical attacker, it's not going to do much because his attack is so lackluster. But then the second reason, hazards. Stealth Rock, and Spiker. There's not a ton of mons that learn Stealth Rock and Spikes, but he's one of the few, you know, and he can make it happen. And then we have Hazard Removal with Rapid Spin. Okay. For abilities, we have Steam Engine. If he's hit by a fire or water move, it maxes out his speed stat, which makes him very fast. So if I'm going to run someone like Dubwool with Fluffy, you know, he's a fire move, I can swap into Colossal, max out his speed, and he can let it rip. Or I think the more logical thing would be to run Flame Body, which has a 30% chance to, you know, burn Pokemon that make contact with him, which is just a great move because you can cripple physical attackers now, which I think that is fantastic. Items, you know, you could, if you wanted to be crazy, Assault Vest. Assault Vest is my favorite item. I wouldn't probably run Colossal Assault Vested in a 6v6 scenario, but you could. Heavy Duty Boots, you know, so you can come in on hazards and get rid of them more consistently. Leftovers to improve sustain. And then you can run an Air Balloon also, if you want to make sure you can come in on a ground type attack, you know, and then do his thing, you know, get a fire type move off, whatever. But anyways, great hazard setter, decent, shitty dual attacker, but, you know, is what it is. We have him, and I love him, and he's the best to me. Even if he does bad. That's my boy. Anyways, on to the next one. Exploud. Exploud does one thing. Okay, let's just make that clear. Exploud does one fucking thing, and that's how it is. Okay, so 104 HP, 91 special. Who cares? Let's just get to it. Oh shit. That's it. That's it. There's your Exploud set. You know, make sure your opponent doesn't have any ghost types, and that's it. You know what item he holds? Let me show you. It's crazy. There's your Exploud. I'm sorry. I goofed. He learns Scrappy, so he hits ghost types. That's it. That's it. 140 power move. He gets stab on it. It's 210 base power with choice specs. Let's see this. With choice specs, let's say we're brazy as shit. You know, we're gonna max that out, and then run it modest. You're looking at, you know, with the specs, over 500 special attack with a 210 power move coming your way. You know, even resisted, that's 105 base power. It's fantastic special wall breaker. Of course, he's held back by a lot of things, such as his speed, his typing, and his defenses. 63 defense, 73 speed def. One fighting type move, he's smoked. Stab or non-stab, just how it is. But again, for the low points it was worth in my draft, to have this ability to just have a Mon come in and spam, that's great. It really is great. Exploud does what he does, spams Boom Burst very well. Not ideal, but great wall breaker. Dusknoir. Now, Dusclops is probably inherently better, but I do appreciate the fact that Dusknoir is not a fish out of water. Now, we have 45 base HP, which he does benefit from. We will get to that. 100 attack. Respectable. Very respectable, especially compared to Dusclops. So if you were to opt to run Dusknoir as an attacker, which wouldn't be ideal, but if you did, he could put in some work. It just sucks that his only, you know, means of a stab attack is Shadow Punch, which is 60 base power, 90 after stab. So you're really not gonna be doing crazy things off of his stab, but he does learn pretty good coverage. He learns all the punches, you know. So I have had success in the past, not in draft, writing him banded and just making predictions. It's just a game of poker where they're gonna swap into, and you click it. If it hits, it's super effective. It'll usually OHKO, possibly 2 at KO. You know, is what it is. But 135 defense, amazing. 135 special defense, amazing. We're not talking about the special attacker speed because it's Dusknoir. It doesn't matter. You just assume he's slow and you assume he's not going to use a special attack. Well, sorry, not assume. You know, because if he uses a special attack, then you know it's like not good. That the Dusknoir is not good, and it doesn't even need to be talked about. So the base HP is 45. If you want to make Dusknoir improve his longevity, of course you'll invest into it. But remember, Pain Split averages your HP with your opponents. So if you want to run minimal HP and maximum defenses, you know, it's crazy with these high HP mons, like we'll do Snorlax, for example. A mon that has well over, you know, well, roughly, I'm trying to think, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I think Snorlax has like 500 some HP at level 100. If you invest in his HP, I think it's like 500 something. When you put Dusknoir in mind, let's say we want to run 0 IVs, you have 200. So when you're raw, you know, like if you're both at half HP and you Pain Split on a Lax, your HP will go up all the way and you'll watch his HP go down to red. It's that drastic because his HP is so low that Pain Split is devastating. I think you can even do damage even when he's at full health, as dumb as that sounds, because your HP stat is so low, the Pain Split will average out your opponent's HP to yours. goofy shit. I wouldn't recommend it. I've personally never done it, but I've seen videos of it online, and the pain split's pretty good. We have Pain Split. I think he's a grade A Will-O-Wisper, just because of his given bulk and everything. Getting burns off and crippling physical attackers. If you want to say screw it, you know, and commit suicide just to pressure a switch, you can curse up on somebody. Destiny Bond, it doesn't really need to be talked about because he goes second, so you can work around that. But you can even run like Substitute Focus Punch, which is an amazing fighting type move. You can Memento him. Use Memento, which is another big move to build momentum. You know, if you just are trying to fodder him out and someone's going to try to set up on the Dusknoir because, you know, he doesn't do a whole hell of a lot, you can just Memento out and then get your sweeper in and begin to set up and destroy the team. So yeah, really, at the end of the day, he's annoying, and he can also possibly do some physical attacking. That's really about it. Annoying in a sense, Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, Memento, Curse. You know, that's that. Physical attacking, he has 100 base attack, and whatever, you run it. If his ghost typing is that puts you at that much of an advantage, we would run that. But anyways, let's go on to the next mon. Dubwool. Dubwool is an amazing design. Dubwool's just a fancy Wooloo. You know, I could see Wooloo wiping its ass with grass out in the field. I see Dubwool in a, you know, rich house, and his butler wipes his ass with, you know, homegrown grass in his garden out back. That's how Dubwool will be. Look how like royal he looks with his horns and everything. He's just a cotton ball with feet. I love it. Stats, again, lackluster. 80 attack, below average. 72 HP, 100 defense. That's awesome. 90 SPDF, not bad. 88 speed, not bad. The main thing here, I'm going to skip the moves on this guy. We'll go back to it. But Fluffy, this is huge. Now, we got two things that are a big deal. We have Fluffy, which means he takes half damage from contact moves, which, if you think about it, fighting type moves majority of the time are contact moves, so that kind of nullifies his fighting weakness. Within reason. There's things around that, but within reason, it does. And then, you take double damage from fire moves. So his only weakness, in a sense, you know, you got big brain time, in a sense, is fire. There are outliers with the fighting typing, but that's very interesting. It makes his defense, if you think about it, against a neutral physical attack, his defense is 200 because he takes half damage. That's insane. His niche is good. It's a thing. Now with Dubwool, you can utilize his bulk, you know, and run 4 attacks, run him Assault Vest, run him with leftovers, like whatever, and just have him be a physical pivot. Not ideal, but it could happen. But now, his ideal set, which if you just go on Schmogan, if you decide to look at Dubwool, this is what you'll see. Cotton Guard is a move that raises your defense by 3 stages. And this is what he does. And the thing is, though, he does it extraordinarily well. If you weasel out your opponent's special attackers and Dubwool is all you have left, right? Well, sorry. And you have Dubwool and they only have physical attackers. If you throw out Dubwool and you Cotton Guard, as long as they don't crit you and your body press can hit things, it's a win condition. It's a strong win condition. It's easy to get around. But once he sets up and you're left with physical attackers, panic will set in because you need to get a crit on a super effective hit to get rid of him. Because Cotton Guard makes his defense snowball so fast. Cotton Guard, body press, rest, sleep talk, enough said. That's it. He you know, he has potential to be set up on while he's sleeping. But after you get one Cotton Guard off, you know, that raises your defense by 3 stages. So that puts you at, like, I think it's like 2.6 times whatever. But it puts you at about 250 base defense with body press. Self-explanatory. Big hit going on there. But he can do other things. But that's just what he does exponentially well. If you do anything else, it's for team building purposes. This is what he do. This is what it do. Big sips to this. But anyway, guys. That's it for my draft. I apologize if this was a little long. I just wanted a thorough explanation on each mon to open my own mind, hear myself talk out loud, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope maybe some of the things I said kind of opened your eyes, maybe your way of thinking or whatnot. And yeah, this is my draft for the EDL Season 3. Well, I'm going to be getting some matches on video and stuff like that in the upcoming future. I already did one, which I'll recap that. I think I'm going to be doing recaps because filming while I'm doing it stresses me out a little bit. But who knows? Maybe I'll just let my testes drop to my feet and I'll just start filming them while I go. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you made it to the end, I appreciate the hell out of you. And I'll catch you in the next one. Later, everybody.